All right, here we go on the big show. Hello, Knockout Nation. You're watching the Knockout TV show, and I'm your host, Noel Clubb, here on the last edition of the show of 2024. Please welcome to the Spanish Sportsbook Network on Zingo TV, channel 250 and channel 251. The Zingo TV app for respective iOS and Android app stores, as the app is absolutely free. And while you download, please make sure to rate, leave us a comment because we want to hear from you folks. We absolutely sure do. Zingo TV is also available on Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV sticks. Roku and Roku sticks are also available on all smart TVs from 2016 forward. Welcome to the viewers watching us around the world. Thank you again for joining us here on the last show of the year, 2024. It's time to introduce, of course, our awesome panel here on the show. All right, first off, he's a great and insightful boxing analyst of the US of A. Please welcome the boxing prophet from the Big Apple, New York City, Richard Solomon, to the prophet. Richard. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's freezing here in New York, but there's nothing finer than on a frigid Sunday afternoon hanging out with my extended family on the Knockout TV show. And as Noel so eloquently pointed out, the last episode of 2024, and I would be remiss if I didn't wish all our fans, the 3.5 to 4 million fans that tune in weekly here every Sunday on the Knockout TV show, a happy Hanukkah, a Merry Christmas, and a very beautiful, wonderful, and safe 2025, baby.
Ditto, right back at you. Exactly, right? Because it's that time of year. It's that time of year. We're holding our last shows of the year. Yeah, very true. Yes, folks, happy Hanukkah, happy Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year 2025 as we approach this time of year very, very quickly as always. So, Richard, what's new with you, man? Before we move on, this cool, fantastic, awesome panel.
Not much, just, caught up on some fights yesterday, watched a little bit of pro wrestling because that's my guilty pleasure. Some people watch soap operas, other people like American Idol. My guilty pleasure is professional wrestling. I could sit there and watch it 24/7 if if I had no other problems in the world. But it's been a very productive weekend. It's kind of cold, in the 20s, and we might be expecting snow soon, but I'm not complaining. I got my health, got my family with me here on the Knockout TV show, which I love doing each and every Sunday. And I think 2025 is going to be an even better year for all of us here on the Knockout TV show.
And
big things to come.
I hope so too, sir. Me too as well. Well, very good. Thanks again for joining us for the Big Apple, man. The boxing prophet himself, Richard Solomon, or let's say, of course, he is like our Moses here on the show too. And Bill looks trimmed out. Looks like there's more trimmer now. Very good, very good.
Yes, I had to, unfortunately, due to the demands of my mom and my sister, I was unwelcome to participate in any Thanksgiving activities unless I shaved. So I went for a shave on Thanksgiving Eve, and as you can see, a little bit of it grew back.
Pretty quickly, I have to say. That's pretty fast.
I'm a hairy bastard. I can't lie.
Well, welcome back, clean shaven. Well, cleaned up boxing prophet. Right on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Clean shaving for you. It's pretty close to clean shaving for you. That's for sure.
Yes.
All right, moving on. And next up, the great, humble Canadian boxing treasure himself from Victoria Harbour, Ontario. He is a 6-time provincial champion for the province of Ontario, 8-time Canadian champion, won the bronze medal in the 86 Commonwealth Games, and a quarterfinals in 86 World Championships. Please welcome from Victoria Harbour, Ontario, Mr. Steve Beaupre to the show. Welcome, Steve. How's it going?
Glad to be here. Yeah, it's going good. We just had my birthday celebration. My birthday's tomorrow, but
how old are you?
60.
No way.
60 tomorrow. Yeah.
Right.
Big 60.
They gave me a little button here. It's my birthday.
Cool.
I'm gonna wear it to work tomorrow because we have training tomorrow, so it's pretty cool. Well, yeah. Other than that, feel good. Just good to be here on the last show for the show.
Exactly, right on. And hey, man, happy birthday. Early happy birthday to you. That's a big milestone, 60. Wow.
60, yeah.
You don't look it, man. Very Good. Good.
So
It's always a pleasure to have you back on the show as well, especially for this last one of the year. It's
my
always
hat's this is my new hat. It says 1964. That's when I was born. Limited edition,
very
vintage.
cool.
So
There you go.
Very
they
cool.
bought it for me. So it's pretty cool.
Special year. You were born. The Beatles came
And my
to
sister
America.
got me a nice when she went to Italy. We were supposed to go to Italy too because my niece was getting married, and I got a nice. She bought me a nice little silver bracelet. So
Very cool bracelet there. Very cool. Right on.
showing off my birthday gifts.
Right on. Well, hey man, it's just spotlight right here, right now. So go for it, right? So go for it. Yeah. Once again, happy birthday, man. Early
Thank
one.
you.
Happy
Thank
birthday. Yes. I won't dare sing because I think we chased away a lot of ratings last time we did that. So I won't go there again this time around. But very good. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. This cool panel. Of course, this is such a great honor for us to have him back here on the show. He is the president of the CPBC, Canadian Professional Boxing Council. Joins from Moncton, New Brunswick. Please welcome John Collette to the show. Welcome, sir.
How you doing?
Welcome, John. How you doing? How's it going, sir?
Oh, not bad. Not bad. I see that Big Ray today, and Kirk Johnson, Jaye, Richard, everybody's here. Except Danny.
That's okay. He made it.
How you doing, Mr. Don?
It's like half the battles making on the show, and then of course to stay on the show is also the next part. And that's no word of a lie. Great, Don. Good to have you back on the show again.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything new happening with you, by the way? Any big plans coming up?
No, just we're ready for Christmas. That's about it.
Very good. Yes, it's a wind down time of the year, which of course mid-month December. So it spells to me too. It's a time to wind down, get ready for the holidays. So yes.
Hopefully looking for New Year's. We should have some title fights in boxing, I guess, in the new year. But
that's good news. It's great news. Hopefully Jaye in the mix there too. That'd be great as well. Well, once again, Don, thanks again for joining us here on the show. Thanks again for joining us. Great honor to have back on the show again. Really is superb honor. All right, moving on. Next up, he is a former CPBC three-time Canadian heavyweight boxing champion. He's also a longtime bodyguard for major celebrities. Also an actor who performed in 11 movies, and he's also in many, of course, TV series. Please welcome Big Ray, Raymond Olubowale to the show. Welcome back, sir. Sir Raymond.
What's up, Big Ray? Good to see you. It's good to see you all.
Yes, you too, sir.
First and foremost, I want to say happy birthday to my buddy Steve. Yes. And more importantly, I want to say congratulations on the 35-year anniversary, which is nothing shy of impressive.
Yes.
All the power to you.
Very good, exactly.
Great to see my buddy Donnie. I never get to see him. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Very good. Good.
Good.
Yes, I mean, great to have you here on this panel too. So it's an iconic panel here today. I have to say, it truly is iconic for Canada, man. It's huge.
Yeah, it is.
Huge. It is. I love the show.
Yeah.
All right. Anything before we move on? Anything new happening with you, man?
It's the hustle's real. Just keep pushing. Trying to get one of these projects off the ground, and that's it. This is a really good time of year for me. I enjoy just the camaraderie, being able to see friends, family, and whatnot. And now we almost have an excuse to do it. But I don't take it for granted.
Right on.
So, I'm in good spirits.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, it's just a special time of year, seeing family and friends you haven't seen for quite a while. Take a break. Yeah, reconnect. 100%. Well, hey, man, thanks again for joining us here on the show. Great. It's always amazing. It's always awesome to have back on the show. Classic, great guy, great ambassador for the sport. Love having you back on the show, man. Love it. Cheers. All right, moving on. It's a great, cool panel here on the show. All right, he's a former Canadian heavyweight Olympic boxer who appeared in the 92 Barcelona Olympic Games. professional heavyweight boxer. He challenged for the WA heavyweight title back in 2002. Joining us from North Preston, Nova Scotia, please welcome Kirk Chiron Johnson to the show. Welcome, Kirk.
Hey, sir.
There he is.
So how you guys doing? Is
We're doing good.
and a
How are you
pleasure.
doing? How are you doing?
Good. It's an honor and pleasure to be back on here with you guys again, talking about boxing and as far as the holidays, I'll be glad when they're over because when you got kids, all you do is spend money on the holidays. That's all I can say.
Expensive time of the year for mom and dad.
And all you guys, like I said, I'm glad to see you guys before the holidays.
Me too.
Oh, one thing I want to say though, did Richard or all you guys, Don, Steve, and all you guys, did you guys ever say what is the best 10 years of boxing ever? I mean, leave that question for later on or whatever.
Yeah.
But before we go, can we all announce what we think that are the best 10 years of boxing? That's what
we'll take it on.
The era, right? 10 years
Yeah.
of the era.
That's a good question.
It is a great
Yeah,
question.
I mean,
yeah.
what is the
Very
best
good
10 years
question.
that we all
Actually, we have.
okay,
we have like the best era. But yeah,
okay.
let's throw it out there.
That's too general a question. Let's talk division, because the best era for heavyweight isn't necessarily the best era for lightweight.
Yeah, but
True.
you're right. But I'm
Well,
saying
when you
we
have
all
3 heavyweight
certain
champions,
guys.
you gotta go heavyweight.
Let's go, eh?
Overall, the best era.
For what division? Let's say.
Good point. Yeah, this is actually make that clear now. So it would be like the division.
I want to say all. I want to say all divisions. I mean, was Pernell Whitaker better than Roberto Duran or stuff like that? I mean, and then Roger Mayweather, he had an era when he was ruling. What would he have done to a young Duran or what, vice versa, whatever? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Do we ever ask each other that question before about those particular guys in those eras or whatever?
We actually asked about eras in the past, but I haven't phrased it quite like the way you're phrasing it, which is about what's the best decade for. I guess we should really kind of pick on here because we have 3 top heavyweights right here on the show. It's only fitting have the top would be the top, or in your opinion, it was the best decade for heavyweights. In your opinion, we'll do that one later on. Is that cool?
I fell in love with Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield era.
Right on.
Heavyweight. That's all I can say.
Right on. All right.
Yeah, I think we've done hypothetical dream matchups in the past, but we never.
Yep.
I think what Kirk wants to know is what is the best 10-year period or 10-year stretch of boxing.
Yeah,
but we can do anything you want. We can do the best era of the heavyweights, 10-year stretch. Doesn't matter to me.
Of everybody, anybody, Sugar Leonard, anybody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Great question.
Yep, it is. It is.
That's that question there is, to me, for heavyweights, would have been the days of Ali, Foreman, George Swallow, Kenny Norton, Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
70 to 80, I guess,
Right.
For heavyweights anyways.
Yeah.
But going back to different divisions, it varies, right?
Yeah. No, it does. It does. Yeah. Wait, before we get rolling here, guys, I gotta do one more official introduction here on the show. Of course, we gotta do that because this guy, he's pretty much an awesome phenom to himself, baby. We gotta get this last one in here. It's a big panel today, so we gotta go through a lot of folks, eh? So last one. But very importantly, too, please welcome dangerous Canadian heavyweight southpaw boxer. He is a CPBC Canadian heavyweight champion, folks. Please welcome, joining us from Surrey, BC, Canada, Jaye Byard to the show. Welcome officially, Jaye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
He looked cool with them glasses on.
Good.
He does.
Hey, let me take those pictures off.
No, put them back on, bro.
Okay, I'll put them back on for you, bro. Yeah, no, it's I'm doing good. It's good to see my group of extraordinary gentlemen. It's always good to see you, Kirk and Don and Steve. Early happy birthday and the Prophet. I love the beard. You know it. Big Ray. Hopefully I get to see you again sometime soon, man. I'm missing Toronto big time.
Very good. Right on.
Always welcome.
Thank you, man. Yeah. So,
Toronto.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just
you guys spar when you're in town, Jay? Do you guys spar at all? What happened there?
We did a sparring last time when he was in town.
Very cool. Very cool. See, inside information there for you, right there. Inside information.
Me and Jay.
Hey, I consider myself really fortunate. I can say that this year was special for me in that I got an opportunity to be in the ring with two Canadian icons as well that were champions and represented the sport of boxing quite well, and the fact that they're both on the podcast today is even more special for me, right? I mean, I grew up looking up to Kirk in the gym, and Big Ray and me have a pretty interesting story that has some similar parallels. It's in a paradoxical universe. We probably fought in the 2000 Olympic Games and the Olympic trials, right?
Yeah.
But so it's good to be here. I'm in the best health of my life and shape, and it's just a bummer that show got canceled on the 5th in December out here that I was ready for.
Yeah.
But somehow, some way, 2025 has to be the year I get out there on the global stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on, man.
It'll work. It'll work out.
Yeah, I believe so. God's watching over me. Yeah.
Keep fighting. Exactly. That's what we know how to do best here in the show. We just keep fighting, pushing forward, regardless. That's what we do best here. Yes,
exactly.
Absolutely. Well, guys, let's go down to the show here. So, round one, headline number one, the most highly anticipated rematch of 2024, or is it fast approaching? That's right. It's the heavyweight title rematch between Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Number two, that is, folks. We're taking place on Saturday, December 21st, 2024, of course, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And, of course, Usyk will put his WA, WC, and WBO, world titles on the line in this rematch. So, folks, what do you guys think? Is it going to be basically a repeat, basically, of the first one, or will Tyson find a way to defeat Usyk? Let's go over to Don first. What do you think are your predictions, Usyk and Fury, number two?
Well, it was a close fight the first time, and I don't know if Tyson Fury can up his game or not at that age. But I guess we'll have
Whoa. None of that age discrimination there, Don. Fury's like 7 years younger than me there, so walk that back a little bit.
You're a different story, my friend. You're a different story.
You don't have the mileage that he's got. And he goes down, he takes, you know what I mean? He abuses himself, going up in weight, almost 300 pounds, and coming down and this and that. That works on a fighter. Look at what's his name, the lightweight there, Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
In a short career.
Yeah.
Probably for that reason. He what was he? Was he a welterweight at the time?
No. They called him Ricky Fat, and that was his nickname. Yeah. He blew up to 200 pounds off season. Yeah.
I mean, so unless you really take care of yourself and stay in shape, like Jay's doing, then So I don't know. I think it's going to be probably a repeat of the same.
Yeah. I agree.
Somebody winning a split decision.
Yeah, right on. I tend to agree to myself. I think it'd be more a repeat from the first matchup. Yeah. But I agree. Dan, or I'm sorry, not Dan. Over to Jay. Sorry, because Dan couldn't make it on. He had some trouble getting on. But, Jay, what's your take? What's your thoughts, predictions?
I'm representing the old guys out west with Danny and myself, and. To be honest with you, I'd have to say I actually watched the first fight at about 2 a.m. this morning. I was so excited about this coming up here soon. And, I just don't see anything going down differently. I say it's going to be a 12-round decision for Usyk. Watching the leading up and the building up to this, I find myself, slightly jealous and envious, but in a good way, because I see that Moses Altalma has been in Fury's training camp. And that was the guy that November 2nd, we could have been fighting in the UK if they had really sent the contract that they sent the offer for, right? So, it's interesting now because as I'm getting closer to the top, I have a different reason and I have a different lens that I'm watching these guys through, right? Because even though I'm a bridgerweight, you got Lawrence Olaki, who just basically jumped up into the open heavyweight division, and now Klitschko is going to be taking him on, and he's trying to foil my attempt to take George Foreman's record. So we're going to have to get into that on a different podcast.
So we shall. But well said. Raymond, what's your thoughts? Predictions, Usyk and Fury 2, what you thinking?
I have a strategy to beat Usyk. And the bottom line for me, at least the way I see it, he is beyond brilliant when it comes to boxing, but his physicality, he's not exceptional. He's a strong guy, but he's not exceptional.
Right.
There's a lot of guys just as strong, if not stronger than him in the game. And the only way I see Fury can beat him is if he has to fight the man, not box the man, like pound the man, hit his shoulders, hit his sternum, hit his biceps, hit his forearms, and just wear the guy down. That's how he beat. Well, not necessarily in that tactic, but wearing Deontay down is how he beat Deontay. He has to wear the rabbit down, because if he's going to think that he's going to outbox him, well, good luck to you.
Correct.
He's too brilliant a fighter.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with it. What is this talk of Klitschko coming back?
Apparently, Lawrence Olaki's they're in talks, or they've signed the deal for that fight to happen after Lawrence Olaki just won his fight last weekend there in the open heavyweight division.
Which Klitschko?
The younger one.
Vladimir.
The chinnier one.
Yeah.
I'll take that fight. If Danny can make that fight, I'll take that all day, because the one of the two of us is going to get that record.
Very good.
But he's 48, I'm 43. So if he takes that record, I'm going to have to hang around for a long time and then win a world title.
So you should keep going, man. Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere till I got another 5 to 7 years. So that's still in my grasp.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. In the boxing world, that's plenty of time. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kirk, what's your thoughts, sir? Predictions, Tyson Fury 2.
I always say this. A lot of times we go with the people that we like. I went with Roy Jones. Every loss that Roy Jones had, I went with Roy Jones. And I thought that I was able to change from that being that way, but I guess not. I'm going with Tyson Fury.
You bet with your heart. He bets with his heart.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. That's right. I can't change it. So I'm going with Fury. Bottom line.
But you went Fury last time.
Yes, I did. And check it out though. When you look at the fight, you don't think that fight could have been a draw? Huh? No, but this time I
love the hopeless romantics.
I figured Tyson will do this time. Hey, I've been wrong many times before.
It's all good, man.
But hey, that kind of loyalty is rare this day and age. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? You got to respect it. Whether or not everything academically points in the other direction, that kind of loyalty you don't get no more, man. Somebody that's going to go down and swinging with you, man.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah, academically, mathematically, physically, yes, technically, yeah, you're right.
when I'm loyal to you, we going right to the end. Bottom line.
That's it, bro.
I love Kirk, man. I love that. Yeah, 100%. Steve, what's your thoughts, predictions, sir? Tyson
I'm
Fury?
kind of like Ray, but I like Fury to win this. I think Fury's going to take it. I don't know. My heart's with Usyk. But I think Fury's going to do he's gonna fight a different fight, and he's gonna take it to him, and he's gonna pull out a split decision,
Very interesting.
so that they have a trilogy. So,
Yeah, that would definitely create a trilogy of that actually happen for sure.
So, and I think we need that. We need that in boxing right now. So I think,
Very good. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
That would be, yeah. It
That
would be
would be amazing.
Yeah, I think in this case here, it'd be a great trilogy. And Mr. Boxing Prophet over in New York City, Richard Solomon, what's your thoughts, takes Usyk Fury 2?
Well, first, let me just say it doesn't get better than this. The last episode of the year, and I'm surrounded by 6 Canadian legends. So you have 6 Canadian legends and a boxing prophet from New York City. But anyway, in terms of who I like, I would love to see the weigh-in to see how much Fury tips the scales at. But I think at this point, it was, and then he's fighting for his legacy. You could say he was the most skilled heavyweight of his generation, maybe, but he really only has a couple of career-defining wins. The 2 victories against Deontay Wilder and the victory against Vladimir Klitschko. But other than that, I would be so bold as to say Anthony Joshua has a much better resume career-wise than Tyson Fury. I think to beat Usyk's kryptonite, his Achilles heel, is his inability to take a body shot. If you really studied Usyk's career, he was dropped in the amateurs by Beterbiev with a body shot.
Good point.
In both of his fights against Anthony Joshua, he was temporarily stunned by a body shot. And even forget the low blow that Daniel Dubois landed that was seen around the world, which I thought was, partial. It wasn't a blatant low blow. It was low, but some of it hit
Was it
the
low?
upper part. Some of it, I think most of the problem with that was part of the glove touched his waistband and the other part was a little bit below the belt. But the way that Usyk fell like he was hit by a grenade told me that he really has issues with body shots. And he went on to stop Dubois, and that was a great win for Usyk. But if I'm Fury, I think Fury boxed too much in the early part of that fight, and he got tired. He played with Usyk too much, and it caught him later on in the fight. And I also, let me get one thing off my chest. A lot of people on social media are like, Usyk should have scored the knockout in the first fight. The referee saved him. I say that's hogwash. The referee did his job. In the 9th round, Fury was stunned. He was out on his feet. He went flying into the ropes on 3 different occasions. The only thing the referee did wrong was not scoring all of them knockdowns. He only scored one of them, the last one, when Fury went flying into the ropes, a knockdown, and rightly so, because we all know if the ropes hold you up, the referee considers it a knockdown. So I think Fury was holding on for his life, and he survived the round. I don't know why people are hating, saying that Usyk should have got robbed by the referee. It should have been a knockout. If I remember correctly, when Ronaldo Snipes all those years ago knocked Larry Holmes down with an overhand right, Larry Holmes got up too quickly. He should have taken the 8 count, but the bravado got the best of Larry Holmes. He got up too quickly, and he went flying into the turnbuckle. So by some people's logic, they could have stopped the fight right then and there. Holmes went flying into the turnbuckle, but the referee did his job. He knew it was a heavyweight championship fight. He gave Larry Holmes the standing 8 count. Holmes recovered, and he went on to knock out Snipes. In terms of who I like, I agree with Ray's strategy. I think that Fury's got to brawl more than box. But we also have to remember that at this stage of his career, Fury's punch resistance has dropped considerably. He went down 2 times against Wilder in their 3rd fight. He was knocked down by MMA fighter Francis Ngannou. He was out on his feet against Usyk in the 9th round on 3 or 4 different occasions. So I just don't think, it doesn't even matter how much Fury weighs. Let's say Fury comes in at a svelte 240 pounds. That doesn't necessarily mean he'll be able to take punishment. I just think, and remember, he was out for 3 years because of mental health issues. And, I just don't think, I'd like to see, in a perfect world, I'd love to see Fury pull it off, like Steve said, just so we could get a trilogy like Holyfield and Bo back in the day. but I just think Usyk is too talented. He's too clever. He's quick. He's got greater reflexes with a much better punch resistance. If I'm Team Fury, I just go to the body and, like Ray said, hit the arms, hit the chest, pull off a Rocky Marciano. Just hit any part of the body until you wear him out. But I just don't think Usyk will get tired. And I think I'm the only one on this panel that doesn't think the fight will go to distance. I don't think it'll be as exciting as the first fight, but I just see Usyk stopping him late. I think Fury knows that this is his legacy fight. This could be his last hurrah, although there are a lot of options for him if he does lose. And he's going to take unnecessary chances and go for the knockout. And Usyk's going to counter him with a left and then a right. And then eventually the referee will have no choice but to stop it, because I think Fury will be laying along the ropes and Usyk will land about 15 unanswered punches. And the referee will have no choice but to stop it. I like Usyk by a 10th or an 11th round TKO.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting as well. Yeah.
You said that so smooth and so good. I might have to bet against myself. Make money off me.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually rumors coming out of the Fury camp that he's actually heavier than he was for the last fight. So
Yeah.
and he looks bulkier, right? And I think there was somebody around. There was some analyst or pundit that I just seen some commentary of that was sharing that he's looking heavier and bulkier in this camp. That's not a strategy that's going to help him win, because quite simply, if that's a 24-foot ring, which I'd imagine it is, he's got a big carcass to carry over 270 plus pounds around against a guy that's 225, 230 pounds, right? So ultimately, if he wants to, punch out a blob, which is basically the strategy Ray's talking about, right? You have to be able to get the guy, you have to line him up first. You have to be able to get him in your crosshairs. And Usyk moves really well with his hands up when you are actually engaging him and pressing him, right? So it's going to be really hard to just sit there and tee off on his arms and stuff, like, kind of like Canelo likes to target something. I don't see that being an option or even a potential scenario where Fury could go to work on something like a body part like that and really start to break him down. He's too agile. He's too good conditioned.
Yeah, I agree.
Fury's got to come in shape. He's got to be in shape.
I agree too. Yeah, he has come in shape.
And this just shows me by Jay's comments that he's going for the knockout, because if we all remember correctly, Tyson Fury gained a large amount of weight after the first fight against Wilder. I believe in the second fight against Deontay Wilder, he gained like 10 or 15 extra pounds, and that served him well, because Deontay Wilder doesn't have the best chin in the world, and he dominated Deontay Wilder in their rematch. Usyk's no Deontay Wilder. He's very smooth. He's got a great defense. So we'll see if the extra weight hinders Fury.
Not to mention Usyk's great ring IQ. He's got good ring IQ as well, being a former Olympian.
Absolutely.
True.
That's another dangerous aspect to Usyk's game is the IQ factor in the ring. Yeah, great points there, guys, as always. But I think Raymond probably raised it's a fantastic point about the game strategy for Tyson Fury would be, if he becomes getting heavier, is basically become really dirty. Hit the shoulders, hit the arms, lean on him as much as possible. Wear him down. Yeah, because you can't box him. You can't outbox him, as we're all saying. No. Essentially, not possible.
Sure.
Not outbox the boxer, as they say.
In this fight, he's gonna float like a butterfly and stand like a bee. And he's even gonna do the Ali shuffle this fight. Tyson Fury will.
Right on.
Blind loyalty. I love it, Kirk.
I think
he's a loyal dude. Right on.
I gotta give him these sunglasses.
Yeah.
Not the rose-colored ones. That's right. Not the rose-colored ones. That's what I love about this show. Good camaraderie as always, eh? But across the country.
But regardless, however long the fight lasts, if it does go in by a stoppage, I guarantee you the fight is you're gonna have some type of excitement in the fight.
Yeah, I would expect so, right? I think we all kind of expect some kind of drama to take place, something to happen out of the ordinary. We got it, right? Part of the drama.
Let me just say, my only hope is that if the fight goes, I don't think it will, but if the fight goes the distance, I just hope and pray that the right man wins, because we all know boxing conspiracy theorists will say that, if the fight's reasonably close, they're going to give it to Fury because they want to make a trilogy, and that would be just really, really bad for the sport. Just let the right man get the decision if it happens to go to full 12 rounds.
Yeah.
This is very much true. You remember the last fight?
Sure do.
Fury actually went off and was saying how he won the fight. He watched the fight and he won the fight. And I'm just like, shut up, man. Honestly and truly, he clowned around so much in this fight, and I'm like, you're losing this fight.
Yeah.
By my eyes, you're losing this fight, and yet you're still clowning around, holding the ring, holding the ropes, and like dancing. I'm like, come on, man. And then he has the audacity to go off and say how he thinks he won the fight, even though he clowned around.
Yeah.
He was that much. No. So he's feeding into this.
That's why we should have 13 rounds. That way, there should be no draws with 13 rounds.
Of course, the no draw situation.
Yeah, they go to if it's a draw, you got to go to another round.
But also, it's
last man standing.
That's an interesting
around.
Factor. Yeah.
Tyson Fury clowned around because his energy tank was going down. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
When he was throwing a good combination, he worked pretty hard during the fight. Then all of a sudden he'll start clowning around. I don't think he was clowning around because, I just want to clown around. You need to take a rest. So how do you take a rest? You clown around, and by nature, that'll make anybody say, you know what? I'm not going to run into him right now because he could have something up his sleeve. Maybe he didn't, but clown around gives that false sense of the guy's trying to set you up. And that gave Tyson a little rest. So when he was clowning around, it wasn't that he just wanted to clown around. I think his gas tank was going down low during those times also. When he was looking for a rest.
When your gas tank is low,
it
means that there's a very good chance you're going to get your ass bust. You should run, and don't stop running until you catch your breath.
Oxygen over here.
Unless you're in Mexico City.
Yes, we all have stories about that place. Yes.
I'm sure that Kirk's going to be yelling into his TV set because he's going to remember what the boxing prophet said on today's episode. Go to the body, Tyson Fury. Remember when Rocky fought Apollo Creed in the first fight, Mickey implored him to go to the body. I can see Kirk yelling at his TV set, go to the body, Fury.
Go to the body. That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
And I just wanted to state, at least for the viewers that are watching around the world, that pertaining to the rule about low blows, getting back to the Dubois Usyk fight, to add on to what the boxing prophet said, part of the glove caught below the waistband. And if like a millimeter of that glove catches below the waistband, by the rule, it's a low blow.
Right.
So yes, part of it was not a low blow, but the other part of it was. And if your pinky finger is below that band, then you hit him with a low blow, right? And so did it get milked and embellished? I don't know. Maybe it did. We're not inside of his genitals or his lower extremities to experience how that shot affected him. But he's also savvy. He's also very smart. His ring IQ also knows, hey, that was low. I can, you know what I mean? I can get a little bit more rest to recover here. He used it for his advantage, right? And at the end of the day, that's what a smart fighter's supposed to do. Take every advantage that they possibly can. Dubois technically went outside of the rules on that by the low blow. It is what it is, right?
Absolutely.
Splitting hairs, but it is what it is.
Yeah, tactical. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. In the moment, you have to be, right? Especially in our sports, yes, professionally, and also in the amateurs. You got to be pretty sharp with who you have in front of you as well. So very important. Good points, as always. Well, all right, guys. So before we move on, let's go very quickly. If let's say hypothetically, Tyson Fury loses the matchup, and he's 36 years old. Do you see him retiring if that's the case? Let's very quickly point Richard first. You see Tyson Fury retiring if this actually loses this rematch?
I mean, I think hopefully he apparently is financially set for life. I don't think he needs to continue, but there are options for him. You know, he's still to this day he never fought Anthony Joshua, and even though both of them will be coming off losses, hypothetically speaking, if Fury loses the rematch against Usyk, you know, and we all saw AJ get starched by Daniel Dubois.
Right.
But I think, you know, the boxing fans in England. You talk about Kirk Johnson being loyal. I mean, Frank Bruno was worshipped for years in England, and he fought for the heavyweight title, what, 3, 4, 5 times until he finally won.
Yep.
Ricky Hatton was a rock star in England despite losing.
Yeah,
So I think even if, let's say, I'll do you one better. Let's say Usyk dominates Fury, and people say Fury's shot. He has no business stepping into the ring anymore. I still think a Fury AJ fight is not only doable and marketable, but if it's made at Wembley Stadium, it sells out in like 10 minutes.
It has to be Wembley Stadium if that matchup happens, which I think that's going to be very, very likely. It has to be Wembley Stadium for sure in London, England. It has to be. Yeah.
And then Deontay Wilder fight the winner.
Quadruple touch up there.
Wilder didn't fight Joshua yet. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
some people still want to see that fight too.
Yeah. True.
Now, do you want my thoughts on what's next for Usyk if he wins?
Make it quick if you do. Yeah, fire away. Make it fast, though.
Yes, I think if justice is served, they're having a fight February 22nd in Saudi Arabia. 2 heavyweights that have rejuvenated their careers in 2024. Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois are fighting each other, and I believe that justice must be served. If Usyk beats Fury, he must face the winner of Joseph Parker, Daniel Dubois on February 22nd in Saudi Arabia. He has to fight the winner of that fight sometime in 2025.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, right on.
I say Joseph Parker will have the best chance on beating Usyk stylistically.
I agree, and I think that he's going to beat Daniel Dubois.
Yes,
I just don't think much of Daniel. I just he's a big, strong kid, fantastic, but he's not. There's nothing clever. There's nothing exceptional about him. You know?
If he stays clear of the first couple rounds,
yeah, and Parker is actually clever. He works.
Yeah,
he's done a lot with what he's got.
Yeah,
he does a lot with what he's got. So I think I see him winning that fight. And to add to Richard's point, in the event that Usyk wins this fight, he has no choice but to fight for that fight and become the undisputed again.
Yeah, champion.
There's just nothing else, right?
Yeah,
it only makes sense.
Yeah. So all roads can possibly lead to Parker here, is what you're saying, eh?
I think so. I think he has the best chance. I didn't say he has a good chance.
Right. The best chance.
Okay. I think he has the best chance to beat Usyk.
Yeah.
But Usyk is still a step above. He's brilliant. He's brilliant within what he brings to the table.
100%.
No one's figured him out yet. Tyson Fury is, ever since he fought Deontay, has adopted this whole mauling, leaning on you, resting on you tactic that served him well. Against
other opposition. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like Deontay, he served him like he has him down. It's a blueprint how to beat Deontay. He then went off and fought 2 more guys. Pretty much did the exact same thing. Exact same fight. Chisora again. Completely different than when he beat him up before. This time now he's resting on him the whole 9 years, and again, it served him well. He attempted that against Usyk. He don't allow it to happen. This is why I think Usyk wins this fight, simply because Tyson has to fight him.
Yep.
Usyk is not going to let him. He's not going to stand there and fight him. He's going to pity-pat the hell out of him, dance one way, pity-pat, dance another way. And he's just going to, and he has the stamina to keep doing this for 12 rounds.
Don't forget one thing. Not only he has the stamina, he hurt him the last time, he'll be able to hurt him again.
There you go.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Another great point. Absolutely.
But I'm still with Tyson Fury.
That's the Kirk we know. Right
That's
there.
right.
Right on. Stay true, right? That's right. Stay true to the ones you're with. Right on.
Oh
Right
yeah.
on.
I guess I know you didn't suggest me, but like,
Go ahead. Fire away.
As for in the event that Tyson loses his fight, for me, I'm actually bothered by the very fact that we're having the conversation. His career is nowhere remotely close to over. It would be a different story if he was getting hurt. He's not getting hurt. He's not battered, you know? He's getting older. I don't like he's not old. This is like what they were saying about Ali when he fought Foreman and he was 32. Oh, the grandpa. No, he has a lot of life left in him and he can do whatever the hell he wants. Granted, he's made hundreds of millions of dollars. Does he need boxing? Probably not.
Not anymore.
But does he enjoy it? Does he still have a fire? If he does, I think he should most definitely continue on. And who's to say that 3, 4, 5 fights down the way, he doesn't retweak his game and figure out another way to come back and take the title?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Think it happens.
Well said, and I definitely respect your comments for sure.
No,
My point when it comes down to like you look at Fury's last few opponents. He had Francis Ngannou, and he had Derek Chisora. Dylan White, Deontay Wilder, 2 back-to-back there. They really weren't great performances in terms of watching Fury over the years. Like those not great fights at all, really, for him. But in terms of performance, that is, yeah. But
the thing is, he could still rejuvenate himself, reinvent his game, right? Another thing is, I find that we are too obsessed with the loss. As soon as a guy loses, they're like, "Oh, well, you should pack it in. There's nowhere else for
done."
him to go.
Yeah, I hear you.
They're talking about Joshua. Joshua just lost to Dubois. He's like, "Well, he might as well pack it in. Where does he go from here?" He could come back and smash Dubois.
Yep.
He totally can beat Dubois. So what is this talk of him going off and retiring for? He's still young. He's still strong. He's able to entertain. Mm-hmm. The sport would be remiss, or I'd be remiss if I wasn't to say the chicken heads of society are in some which way, shape, or form winning by the very fact that we're having the conversation of people going off retiring. These are incredible athletes. Let's put our best foot forward.
And to your point, Ray, this is what makes the Dubois-Parker fight so special. People left Joseph Parker for dead when Joe Joyce knocked him out back in 2022. So what does he do? He gets back-to-back victories over Zhilei Zhang and Deontay Wilder, and they called Daniel Dubois a quitter after Usyk and Joe Joyce defeated him. So what does Dubois do? He resurrects his career by knocking out Jarrell Miller and Felipe Hrovic and Anthony Joshua back to back. That's why I still feel like, I know a lot of the panel likes Parker. I think Dubois-Parker's a 50-50 fight. And obviously we have a couple of months to make our final prediction, but Dubois seems to be improving with every fight.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't count him out against Miller. I'm sorry, I wouldn't count him out against Parker at all.
Yeah. No. It's like the old days. Remember back in the day when a fighter lost 2 fights, they can come back and win 2 or 3 fights and also win the world title. So these days here with the Parkers and the Dubois, this starting to seem like the old time days when they fought and lost and came back and still fought and beat other guys. So it's fun now. It's starting to be fun.
I think that makes a hell of a lot more level playing field.
Yeah.
Why? Because anybody could be a champion 2 years from now.
Yeah.
You just won. But you know what? I'll be back. I'll be back with a different strategy and a different mindset and whatever the case may be. I'll bust your ass. I personally enjoy that more than this one and done business.
It's about sport. That's a superb storyline right there, right? You're kind of down and out, and then you come right back like that. It's always a great story in sport.
The only thing that really scares me about Tyson Fury, someone had mentioned, I think it was Kirk, who said his favorite era was Riddick Bowe and Holyfield.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury may be entering Riddick Bowe territory here, in that Riddick Bowe, after his 3 wars against Evander Holyfield, was just never the same fighter. His punch resistance was gone. He was just, he would come in out of shape. I mean, the first Holyfield fight, he was in great shape. He won that fight. I predicted him to beat Holyfield. But then the next 2 fights, he wasn't in great shape. And then we all know what happened with the 2 fights against Galata. I just think that Tyson Fury has been in so many damn wars. The 3 wars against Deontay Wilder, and the fact that, he was off for 3 years due to mental health issues, and he ballooned all the way over 300 pounds. It takes a lot out of a man to like fluctuate in weight at his age and just keep on being involved in all these brawls. That's why I think people may be counting Tyson Fury out.
Yeah, great points.
Well,
Yeah.
I just look at the 3 years he had off for mental issues, whatever. Body wise, I just take that his body was resting at the same time. So I say he's gonna be all right.
I think he's gonna be
I'm
all
with
right
you,
too.
Raymond. He'll be all right.
Well, guys, if I can say something,
Go for it.
you guys made a lot of great points there about, kind of the psyche of a fighter and the perception that the public has about a fighter when he takes an L. Like, myself, everybody gave up on me when I started my career off 0-4, right? And, essentially there's lots of people that started off 0-4, right? And then they just quit. That's all there is to it. So you don't hear about those guys anymore, right?
Yeah.
So what it comes down to is that person has to want to be able to flip the switch, and they have to be able physically to make it happen, right? You can want to do it. That's great. Everybody wants to do something. Being able to make it happen are 2 different things, right? So Anthony Joshua and Fury could come back and have long storied careers after this, or they could be shot fighters right now. But what it is really is that they've been very handsomely compensated for their work in this life already. And the desire and the drive and the fire in their belly is not there anymore. It just isn't. And you don't just get it back.
Yeah.
Right? You don't get it back when you have hundreds of millions of dollars. You just don't.
That's hunger. There's a hunger there for sure.
So because what he's doing it for now, and they will recycle those guys as well, because they need closure in the UK. They've had this question of who's better between Fury and Joshua for years, right? And they've been loyal as a dog to them. Yeah, the fans, they need that fight. Nobody else in the world may care about that fight, but they want that fight even if those guys retire right afterwards, so that they can set the record straight, and a matter of legacy ends up being determined who really was the better of the 2 heavyweights at that period in time, right? So, really what it comes down to is that's also what's wrong with fighters this day and age. And to answer Kirk's question, the best decade for me, I would have to say, and I'm slightly biased because I started boxing in it, but would be 90 to 2000s. You got everything from the Tyson Buster Douglas fight to James Toney beating Sam Peter and climbing up the ranks, to seeing Kirk fighting the Klitschko's and John Ruiz, and you know what I mean, seeing Holyfield, and you know what I mean, fighting.
James Toney lost to Sam Peters.
Well, he got drug tested afterwards, but he beat Sam Peters.
I thought he lost to him.
No. The decision was overturned because of a drug test.
That was in the Ruiz fight.
That's a Ruiz fight.
Sam
Peters beat him. And he kept saying how he
wanted
a piece of him.
That's
very good.
My mistake.
That's okay.
We still have those kind of era fights. That's the whole point. Is that
fight? So to me, you're right. I would say the 90s to the 2000s is the best era. Other than, it's hard with the Ray Leonard and Duran them guys era, because Duran and Ray Leonard and Hackett.
We had Lennox. We had Lennox. We had Holyfield. We had Tyson. We had Holyfield.
You're right.
We had the Vinny Pazians in the earlier years, and you know what I mean. Like, there was so much color. There was the Tito Trinidadi's. I mean, think about the wars, the Del Boyas. It's like,
you're right. Yeah.
Man, that decade is like, that decade was like.
It was special. No doubt about it. Very special decade.
I think, like Don pointed out, I think the golden age for the heavyweights was definitely the 70s when you had Ali, Foreman, Frazier, Norton, and the rest of them. But to me, my favorite period of boxing was like the late 70s into the mid 80s because you had Alexis Arguello and Aaron Pryor, you had Hagler, Hearns, and the Four Kings, and they all fought each other. And the 90s to the 2000s were great.
Sanchez.
Yes, that Salvador Sanchez, and in those eras, people fought for legacy. Back, and Roy Jones and all of his. We could do a whole show about Roy Jones, but Roy Jones did avoid a lot of people. He, because he got robbed in the Olympics, he never wanted to take that transcontinental fight, and he never fought Darius Mitchell-Shitsky or Nigel Benn or Chris Eubank. So back in the 80s, they all fought each other. Hagler, Hearns, Leonard, Duran, a combined 9 fights between the 4 of them. Alexis Arguello and Aaron Pryor fought twice. So I think the 80s was just off the hook with Matthew.
I don't know. Don't forget De La Hoya fought everybody too.
Who's the fighter that has the record for the youngest world champion?
I think Wilfred Benitez.
Wilfred Benitez. The Four Kings all avoided him. I'm sorry, Leonard fought him. Nobody else. Why is that?
Fought him,
Duran fought him. And Hearns fought him.
Yeah,
Duran lost to him by a unanimous decision, and Hearns beat him by a split decision.
Hearns fought him?
Yes.
Yes, Hearns beat him by a close decision. Hearns beat Benitez by a close decision. I believe Leonard stopped Benitez in the 15th round, and Benitez beat Duran by a pretty one-sided decision. You can make a case, and a lot of boxing historians refer to Benitez as the fifth king.
That's what I was saying.
3 of them.
Yeah,
I give it to him.
Yeah, no doubt there.
Very underappreciated fighter.
Yeah. Steve, what would be your favorite decade before we go?
1980s, all the, Little Red Danny Lopez, some of those guys, the smaller weight classes, there was, a lot of good fighters. It was, and they fought each other, right? They fought each other. They didn't.
That's a big one. That's a big
on
thing.
TV. It wasn't pay-per-view. It was on TV, and they had the fights on ABC or CBS.
Let's not forget De La Hoya fought a lot of those guys.
Wide world of sports.
Like heavyweight division was really active, right? So all of those weight classes, they tried to promote all the weight classes. I thought
they sure did a great job back then, no doubt.
Back in the day, the featherweight division, lightweight division, welterweight, right? They all were great fighters.
Yeah,
and we had only 3 divisions. Well, we only had 3 sanctioning bodies, right? WBA, WBC, and then the IBF. But
right.
I'm glad they got more because you get more chances. More fights, more chances.
More fighters, the opportunity to make more millions. I get that.
Yeah.
But
Don, here we go. We're done.
Apologies, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to actually dip out.
All right,
I will
take
see
care.
our group in the new year.
Bring my glasses home.
Happy holidays, guys. You guys have a wonderful holiday season with your family.
Take care, Jaye.
Be back with you in the new year.
Very good, sir. Take it easy. All the best. We'll see you in the new year. And a happy 2025. Hey, right on.
Thank you, guys. You take care. 2025 is ours.
Yeah.
Very good. And Don, before we go, what's your favorite decade, sir, overall in the sport of boxing?
Well, like I said, for the heavyweights, but Steve made a good point. Had Lopez and all those guys in the 80s, and they fought all each other, right? So that's and you can't look back like Duran and Leonard, Hagler. I mean, those guys were they were one of a kind fighters.
Yes, they were. Yeah, absolutely.
And as Steve was alluded to, the birthday boy, happy birthday, Steve. I just remember watching a fight on Channel 4, NBC with my dad.
Yeah.
And this is how great boxing was back then. Cornelius Boza Edwards against
Yes.
Bobby Chacon. I mean, you really can't get any better than that.
Those fights are great. Those types of fights.
Ridiculous. If you have nothing to do on a certain day of the week, you could just pop in any of those early fights from the 80s involving Bobby Chacon, Bazooka Lamone, Cornelius Boza Edwards. It was thrilling, and it was on free TV.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what's
So the bottom line is we're still stuck. I thought that we were going to be able to get a certain decade, but the bottom line is we're still kind of stuck because we flipping different spots and eras. You know what I mean? Which is great.
I'm a little more confused. For me, when it comes to the little guys, and what I call little guys, we're talking lightweights.
Yeah.
I think the greatest era is right now. Right now, when you have the likes of Lomachenko going up against what was his name? They lost to Lopez, and then you have the Haney's, and you have it was
agreed.
The caliber and the level of competition is amazing by comparison to everybody else. But then when they compete against each other, they're still so close that it's entertaining, and you can't guess. That's what I see as making a division or an era in boxing.
Right, exciting.
Similar to when, if you were to go back to the mid 80s and you had the Four Kings, when these fights were coming up, no one predicted off the hop who won, except for when Leonard was fighting Hearns the first time. It was supposed to be an annihilation. Hearns was supposed to kill him, the hitman. Only to have him exposed. Outside of that, it was always like a toss-up who won, and that's what I find most entertaining. When it comes to the heavyweights, then I'm with you, Kirk. I'm saying the 90s. Then it's an entertaining time. The 2000s, when the Klitschko's dominated, you can't call it a great era because it was one side. They just slapped up everybody.
Exactly.
I'll just say this, Ray. A lot of people want to see Bud Crawford against Canelo in 2025, or Canelo against the winner of Benavidez and David Morrell. I say this. I say that there are two fights that I want to see in 2025 based on what you just said. At lightweight, it's got to be Tank Davis against Shakur Stevenson, just to solidify both of their legacies. And then at junior welterweight, you have to see Teofimo Lopez against Devin Haney. If those two fights happen in 2025, I'll be thrilled.
Well, we shall see on that note. We shall see, right? Well, guys, we're out of time. So I want to thank everyone for joining us here on the last show of 2024. It was a great
guys.
Thank you, guys. Always an honor to have you guys on the show. So I want to thank Steve Beaupre, of course, Kirk Chiron Johnson, Don Collette, the president of CPBC, Raymond Olubowale. Oh, man, such a cool cast here and crew on the show. And, of course, in New York City, the boxing prophet, Mr. Richard Solomon. Thanks, guys. Always amazing. It's a great show again today with you. Thanks, folks, and Happy New Year.
Guys, all you guys have a happy New Year to all you guys.
Happy New Year.
2025.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.